and welcome before the committee, gentlemen. Recent press reports have highlighted concerning developments with Taiwan's domestic defense strategy and capability. Reserve forces are in need of reform, and there are questions around Taiwan's recent shift in favor of counter-strike weapons rather than adopting a porcupine strategy of strategic denial capabilities. Beyond weapons sales, gentlemen, what is the administration doing to support Taiwan's domestic military readiness?
I'm not sure I heard the very last part of that question. Beyond weapons, what is the administration doing
to support Taiwan's readiness?
To support Taiwan's domestic military readiness?
Yeah,
domestic military readiness. Senator Young, if you can lean into your when you're asking questions, lean into your, I guess, the computer there, or raise the volume, it would be helpful. But I think we heard that one.
No, thank you, Senator Young. It's a hugely important question, and we have to always remember that Taiwan's ability to defend itself is more than just its arms purchases, and that as a government, we ought to be widening our aperture as much as we can, and its reserve reforms are an important element of that. Insofar as Taiwan's shift to an all-volunteer force and the subsequent decrease of its active force strength has led to the need to ensure that its reserve forces are prepared to assume increasingly difficult missions. The good news is that President Tsai and Minister of Defense Cho have begun walking down this path. As you know, they have approved changes to reservist training requirements, increasing the number of days required for reservists, and they've also been creating requirements for more realistic combat training. And in addition to that, as was mentioned earlier in the hearing, Taiwan is slated at the beginning of next year to establish an all-out defense mobilization agency, an ADMA, which is geared to combine mobilization and reserve functions in one agency to better align training, exercises, and force development requirements. So we think they're making real, tangible progress on this. Some of it is very much initial, and we're going to do everything we can to support these efforts.
Dr. Ratner, okay, so that was my question. Were there things that you think we should be doing, perhaps this committee can be helpful with, as it pertains to supporting Taiwan and its efforts to reform its reserve forces?
Absolutely, Senator. I would be happy to explain that in some detail in a closed session. What I will say is that we are taking a more proactive approach to supporting Taiwan in some of these reforms, working with them on some of their defense concepts, doctrine, supporting them in some of their...
Why don't we take it to a classified setting, Doctor? I'll pick up on that thread with you at a later date. Thank you. What capabilities are most needed for asymmetric defense? Because my sense is the legacy systems and weapons that Taiwan has relied on in the past aren't sufficient, aren't adequate for a robust defense of the island right now.
Senator, that's right. That is precisely the argument that the administration has been making and the Trump administration was making as well. Again, we support President Tsai's commitment to achieve greater balance of asymmetric capabilities. To your question specifically, these include coastal defense cruise missiles, short and medium-range air defenses, defensive naval mines, enabling C4ISR, and other capabilities. But those would be at the top of our priorities.
Okay, lastly, in what time period do you see the greatest risks for conflict between CCP and perhaps Taiwan?
Senator, my answer to that is that the China challenge is a today problem, a tomorrow problem, a 2027 problem, a 2030 problem, a 2040 problem, and beyond. I don't think there is a date we ought to pick on the calendar, and we ought to make sure that we're sustaining deterrence from today and maintaining it going forward.
It's a today problem. That's all I need to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Coons.